Claritin Clear.
Davis on Deansbridge is your one-stop shop for everything home. Update your bedroom suite or mattress set today. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the top brands at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
From the station that's on your side, News 12, first at 5, continues.
Aiken County students back to school, but parents, they're concerned over the lack of school bus drivers on the roads tonight. Parents tell us they're dealing with several issues, including signing their kids up for the right bus. Our Emma Ellis spoke to those parents to get their side of the problems.
Students all across Aiken County went back to school, but questions about bus routes and bus registration left some parents looking for answers. Caitlin Ogden has a middle and high school student. This week, she found out buses would pick them up and drop them back off home late.
Getting home late frustrates me, but that's not the bigger deal. I've got a middle schooler. If he's 2 hours late, he misses his entire first period.
They say drivers are taking double and sometimes triple the normal bus routes they're used to driving. For Caitlin, the school district is already addressing the problem, but she says this could be a lingering issue.
They've resolved it mostly on our route, but still Fridays we're going to have, they're going to have to double up on bus routes again. So Fridays every single day, my kids are going to be 2 hours late for school and 2 hours late getting home. It's just, it's frustrating.
Aiken County Public Schools Transportation says that their ultimate goal is to make sure that your student gets to school safe. In Aiken County, Emma Ellis on your side.
Speaking of school buses, Riley, students are sure to break a sweat at the bus stop for a little while longer, especially since starting this year-round schedule in Aiken and Edgefield counties.
I know, Mayor, usually we see the hottest temperatures of the year in the month of July, so even starting a couple weeks sooner brings those maximums.
All right, thanks for that, Ryan. New at 5, the Burke County Sheriff's Office is asking county commissioners for an urgent meeting. Now, this comes just a day after commissioners told the Sheriff's Office they're running out of money. In a letter, commissioners told the Sheriff's Office they could not hire anybody until after October 1st, and they only have enough money to pay employees for another month. The Sheriff's Office says they play a vital role in maintaining and improving the quality of life for Burke County and say that requires money. The sheriff wants to meet by the end of the week. Our Will Rio is at Commissioner's budget meeting as we speak. He'll have the latest on the budget battle coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. In Aiken, the race to determine who will become mayor is coming up sooner than you might think. Early voting is happening right now ahead of the primary coming up August 8th, but there is a catch. Since there is no Democratic contender for the role, whoever wins the Republican nomination next month will run uncontested in November. Rick Osmond is the current mayor in Aiken. Before he was first elected back in 2015, he served on the Aiken City Council, the Aiken County Council, rather. Catherine Wade is currently the executive director of Life Choices Pregnancy Care Center. According to her website, she is focusing on the over and underdevelopment of parts of Aiken. Teddy Milner is the founder and operator of 2 restaurants and a catering business in Aiken. According to her website, she wants to preserve the charm and character of Aiken. You can vote early until August 4th. Voting is from 9 to 5. No matter what party you are registered for, you can vote in this primary since there is not a Democratic candidate. Georgia brewery owners say the state's old-fashioned distribution laws are forcing them to move elsewhere. 8 breweries in all have closed in the last few months in Atlanta. It's a trend that doesn't just impact the owners, but also their communities. Reporter Abby Kasoris explains how brewers are now pouring their efforts into the Gold Dome to make that change.
Beer is nearly a $2 million industry in Georgia.
This is the first pour of the day.
Chase Medlin is one of 171 brewers in the state. Despite a higher demand, data shows Georgia has some of the fewest breweries per capita.
The model is not that profitable.
In the last 6 months, 8 breweries closed in Atlanta, including Second Self Beer.
Yeah, things are a little dirty right now. So
Owner Jason Santamaria is selling bits and pieces of a business that took him a decade to build.
We support a lot of nonprofits. We pay a lot of taxes. Let us just do more of that.
According to Georgia law, breweries can only sell what they brew in-house. And when it comes to selling anywhere else, they have to use a middleman, a distributor.
So for us, having to go through a distributor for every drop that leaves the store, we're getting cents. So if Georgia really is a pro-business state, giving that ability to have businesses make their own decisions on what they do, I think is very important.
36 states have updated their distribution laws so that breweries can sell direct to customers. Joseph Cortez with the Craft Brewers Guild says some of Georgia's beer laws were written in the 1980s.
Of our laws that are antiquated and are not suited for a 21st century consumer and a 21st century market.
They're lobbying lawmakers, starting with campaign videos featuring brewery owners. While it may be too late for some breweries, Cortez says the law could help others still trying to make it. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasoris.
In Richmond County, a new initiative by public libraries makes it easier than ever for students to get free materials. Now, instead of having to register for a library card, students already enrolled in the Richmond County school system can automatically have one.
But previously, they had to be able to come in with a parent, show their proof of residency in order to get a card. And for some of our students, that was a barrier. But with this opportunity, we are able to take the information we have on our students already. Our parents are able to opt out of the program if they don't want their children to participate, but they can access this digital card just using their student ID, their student information.
This program was created to strengthen literacy rates and give students free study tools, homework help, college prep, and even job readiness. A Georgia library card, it can get your student so much more just than books, by the way. According to GeorgiaLibraries.org, a library card can get you free or discounted admission to the Georgia Zoo, aquarium, and museums. It can also help with reading challenges with fun rewards like tickets to sport games. He's taking his love of bus driving and turning it into something educational for others. Coming up, how one Georgia man is helping bus drivers all across the country. Riley?
And we are tracking some tiny downpours between the Bel Air and Wheeler Road exit on I-20 on the west side of town. We'll take a look at radar and also some summer heat heating up for the weekend just after the break.
Time and direct. Call me right now.
Make this the summer event.
New Jeep Compass, $399 a month lease in Waynesboro.
Shop more Jeeps in minutes than anywhere else.
It's a short drive on Highway 25.
Shop GoodToGoWaynesboro.com to save time and money. I'm TK.
Place to find a place. Make this the summer event in Waynesboro.
Payments to fit your budget.
Up to $9,500 off new Gladiator Rubicons.
Big city selection with hometown prices.
Good to go. Waynesboro.com.
Okay, you are taking a live look now at Miami, Florida, courtesy of EarthCam. That water sure does look inviting on a hot day like today, doesn't it? But don't be fooled. It is so hot in Florida right now that one water temperature sensor near the Everglades recorded a water temperature of 101 degrees. Yikes, that's around the same temperature as a hot tub. In Miami, that water temperature is getting, I don't know, around 90 or so degrees, and that's exactly why, too, Riley, it is so dangerous with hurricane season being in full swing. Yeah, compare that though to Clarks Hill Lake, where the water is measuring in the upper 80s today. So there you go. If you think it's hot there, it's hotter in other places. Look, we're being positive. Let's go now to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. Riley, thankfully Clarks Hill Lake is a little cooler.
Thankfully.
I mean, it's
Thankfully
still
so.
a bathtub, though. Let's be honest.
And I've been following a lot of the meteorologists down there in South Florida that have been kind of keeping track of those water temps down there. And it does have to be certified. I don't think it's quite been certified, but if it does verify, it's a new world record for the hottest ocean temperature ever recorded. But apparently it's measuring about 5 feet deep, so it's not just measuring the top of the water. It's actually 5 feet below the surface they're measuring that temperature. So significant. A lot of people are saying something's got to be around that sensor, whether it be a lot of coral that's kind of darker, just soaking up a lot of heat. They're thinking that something along those lines, bringing those type readings, but we'll have to wait and see if it does become a record or not. Here's a look at these Saturday and Sunday and hanging on to those hot temps through most of next week, Mayor.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. One Georgia bus driver is stepping out from behind.
Try to find some shade in a cove. That water temperature may be a little bit less there, but 93 degrees for high temps up at Clarks Hill through Friday. So hot stuff and not much approach wind shouldn't be too breezy. Those winds should stay out of the south-southeast, generally less than 10 miles an hour the next couple of days. Here's a full look at that 7-day forecast. So once again, a little bit hotter this weekend, upper 90s Saturday and Sunday, and hanging on to those hot temps through most of next week, Mayor.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. One Georgia bus driver is stepping out from behind the wheel and bringing his experience to fellow drivers. Amanda Rose shows us how this one driver and his daughter are aiming to help other bus drivers.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching.
Mark Arrowwood is stepping out from behind the wheel, bringing his fun, energetic personality and love of driving this big yellow bus into the spotlight.
I want to show the real life of bus driving. I want to show the positive sides. Plus, I like talking to the kids. I like to get to know each kid's name on my bus.
The Habersham County school bus driver has created his own YouTube channel called Ubi's Tips. Since May, he's posted more than 20 videos. His 17-year-old daughter and camera woman helping bring it all to life.
If you see the lights are flashing, don't be a dashing.
Arrowwood's videos cover important topics, like why traffic laws require you to stop for a school bus, even advice for preventing bullying and de-escalating conflict.
Did you know that a school bus represents the second most common place for bullying?
It's the positive feedback from viewers and Arrowwood's community that he says makes all the extra hours spent editing these videos worthwhile.
There are people who don't realize they were called to be a school bus driver, but once they get in there, you know that's what they were meant to do, and I do believe that about Mark.
And just as he brightens the day of the students on his school bus, Arrowwood hopes you tune in for a little pick-me-up.
Me putting these videos out, I actually learned by doing the research, like, wow, I didn't know that, so I gotta let you guys know.
All right, some cool stuff there. And you know what? Helping fellow drivers is absolutely priceless. Love that he involves his daughter in all of this.
In case you haven't heard, there's a Barbie movie out there, and one thing it's doing is driving up the value of old Barbie doll collectibles. So, Jimmy Tucker, if you have one of those, I'm going to show you how to find out what it's worth.
First,
All right, what do we got? Looks like 64 yards to the pin. About 64 mile per hour winds.
Dude, there's no wind.
Hand me my 64-degree wedge.
What's it with you at 64?
Are you 64?
.com!
It is one of the biggest movies of the year, and it's having a pretty traumatic effect on the value of toys that many of you played with as children. We're talking Barbie dolls. The buzz around the new Barbie movie is reportedly driving up the price of collectible Barbies. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker shows us how to check if you're sitting on hundreds or even thousands of dollars.
Holiday dreams to make you smile, Barbie girl.
Dreams of little girls may have been about playing with a Princess Barbie doll, but for some moms and dads, their dream was making money off of these collectible toys. Maybe you have some of these old Barbie dolls lying around. Some of them are worth hundreds, some worth over $1,000. Now, to find out how much yours is worth, you can go to some Barbie doll collectible websites, but the fastest way is with your smartphone. In the Google app, you can search for your Barbie doll by typing in the name, but you may not even know the name of a random Barbie. Near the Google search bar is a camera icon that opens Google Lens, which searches by image. Aim your camera at the doll and snap. Google searches across the internet for the image. Does pretty well. If Barbie is wearing the clothes she came with, Google Lens locates it quickly on Etsy and eBay. This 90s era Barbie is for sale on eBay, and this limited edition Emerald Barbie is for sale for $95. Now that is the listing price. To find out what they've sold for on eBay, filter by sold to see what people have actually paid. Google Lens works with other collectibles too, like baseball cards, Beanie Babies. Of course, the value also depends on condition and accessories. Still, it's an easy way to identify which Barbie you have. And one of the more interesting things I found doing this research is these collectible Barbie dolls in the boxes aren't worth as much as you might think. And that's because, according to collectors, they hold no sentimental value since the little girls who first received them never got to play with them. They stay in the box. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
That goes against everything I've ever heard about collectibles. That's interesting. The most expensive widely released Barbie doll is the Pink Jubilee Barbie from 1989. It is worth about $1,000. But the original Barbie from 1959 recently sold for a whopping $27,000. 4 of our local youth softball teams won their respective state championships this summer, and they're heading to the Dixie Softball World Series. Exciting stuff. Our News 12 sports director Dan Booth caught up with the Barnwell 12 and under All-Stars ahead of their trip to Louisiana.
For most kids, competing in the Dixie World Series is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But for this ponytail team from Barnwell, most of them are going back for the second year in a row. 7 of the 12 players on Barnwell's roster went to the Dixie World Series in the 9-10-year-old division last year. They went all the way to the championship game, finishing their summer as the national runner-ups. From the atmosphere to the food, those players say they're looking forward to going back to share their experience with this year's team. And when it comes to the community, they've been there supporting them in person, online, and with their wallets along the way.
This is not an inexpensive trip. It costs a good bit of money, and we've had a lot of help raising. We have cameras where we, take the games live, and we've had over 2,000 people watching a game before. So as far as everybody supporting us, everybody's behind us.
Barnwell is sending off their All-Stars in style with a celebration at the town circle tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We'll hear from the team on News 12 at 6 o'clock in just a few minutes. But for now, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Get that
The new International African American Museum opened its doors in Charleston 1 month ago. Well, now we're learning just how popular it's been. Pre-sale tickets dominated the museum, and pre-bookings often fill up days in advance. Visitors coming from across the United States to see the museum's celebration of African American culture and hardship. So if you plan on visiting the museum, make sure to book your tickets several days in advance. And if you're a South Carolina resident, you save almost 50% on your ticket price this year only. So there's some news you can use. Charleston, not a very far destination if you want to take a quick one-tank trip.
Yeah, very quick trip, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on the Gullah culture there along the South Carolina coast that's really big and big cultural influence to our region. So definitely worth checking out there. Pretty cool stuff. Hey, take a look over our Wheeler Road camera.